Across China, the Yangtze River has long been both a lifeline, nourishing the land, and supporting generations of people who have depended on its waters for farming, fishing, and transportation. Yet, throughout history, it has also been a source of destruction, with devastating floods sweeping away homes and lives, leaving entire communities vulnerable to nature's power. Here in Hubei province, humanity responded with ambition and ingenuity, building the Three Gorges Dam, a colossal wall of concrete and steel, stretching nearly 1.5 miles across the river, and rising over 180 meters high. The dream of taming the Yangtze began over a century ago, with early engineers and visionaries imagining ways to control its mighty flow. But only in 1992 did this vision become reality, as construction finally began on what would become the world's largest hydroelectric project. By 2012, after years of monumental effort, the dam's massive generators were online, sending electricity across the nation and powering cities, industries, and millions of homes. The reservoir behind it is so vast, it's visible from space and holds over 40 billion tons of water, creating a new inland sea that stretches for hundreds of kilometers upstream. This project is more than engineering. It's a profound intervention in nature, forever altering the river's course and the lives of millions who once lived along its banks. Entire towns were relocated, and ancient sites now lie beneath the water. Today, the dam stands as both a triumph of human achievement and a source of ongoing challenges, its presence reshaping the landscape and the future of the region. It generates clean energy on a massive scale, reducing reliance on coal and helping to power China's growth, but also brings environmental and social costs, from disrupted ecosystems to the displacement of families. The Three Gorges Dam was built to solve old problems, like catastrophic flooding, but in doing so, it created new ones: landslides, habitat loss, and complex questions about the balance between progress and preservation. Its story is a lesson in the consequences of our grandest ambitions, reminding us that every solution can bring new challenges, and that the relationship between humanity and nature is always evolving. The Three Gorges Dam was built on 3 promises: flood control, power generation, and improved navigation. These promises were not just ambitious, they were transformative, aiming to reshape the very landscape and lives of millions. The Yangtze's floods once threatened millions. The dam now acts as a safety valve, capturing and releasing water to protect communities. This flood control mechanism has been crucial in preventing the devastating floods that historically plagued the region. Its 34 generators produce vast amounts of hydroelectric power, reducing China's reliance on coal and lighting up cities and factories. This shift to renewable energy has had a significant impact on reducing carbon emissions and promoting sustainable development. By raising water levels, the dam transformed the river into a navigable highway, opening trade routes deep into China's interior. This has facilitated economic growth and connected remote regions to global markets. A 5-tier ship lock allows massive vessels to travel from Chongqing to Shanghai, making the river a vital artery for commerce and transportation. These goals, flood control, clean energy, and trade, were seen as a blueprint for a safer, more prosperous China. The dam was envisioned as a cornerstone of national progress and modernization. The dam became a symbol of progress, a bold step into a future shaped by human ingenuity. It attracted tourists and became a point of national pride. For many, it delivered on its promises. The benefits were tangible, from reliable electricity to enhanced economic opportunities. Yet each promise came with hidden costs. Environmental and social impacts have raised questions about the true price of progress. The dam's story is not just about what was gained, but also what was lost. Entire communities were displaced, and ecosystems were altered. Its legacy is still being written. The Three Gorges Dam remains a complex symbol of both human achievement and the costs of such grand endeavors. Every river carries sediment, sand, silt, and soil, and the Yangtze is no exception. The dam slows the river, causing sediment to settle and accumulate in the reservoir. This buildup reduces the reservoir's capacity, threatening its ability to control floods. Sediment can also clog turbines, undermining power generation. Upstream, rising riverbeds increase flood risks for cities like Chongqing. Downstream, the river, now starved of sediment, erodes banks and deltas, destabilizing levees and harming ecosystems. The Yangtze Delta near Shanghai is shrinking, deprived of the silt it needs to resist the sea. Engineers installed sluice gates to flush out sediment, but the sheer volume is overwhelming. The dam is in a constant battle with the river's natural forces. The question is not if, but when, sediment will threaten the dam's future. This slow, silent process is one of the greatest long-term risks. The balance of the entire river system has been disrupted. The fight against sediment is far from over. In 2025, scientists confirmed a startling fact, one that sounds almost unbelievable. The Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest hydroelectric project, has actually slowed the Earth's rotation by about 0.06 microseconds. This minuscule change might seem insignificant, but it's a measurable effect, and it's the direct result of human engineering on a massive scale. This happens because the dam's enormous reservoir holds an immense volume of water at a higher altitude than before, shifting the planet's mass outward. It's similar to a figure skater extending their arms to slow their spin. The redistribution of so much water, weighing billions of tons, subtly alters the balance of the entire planet. The effect is tiny, imperceptible in daily life, but it's a powerful symbol of how human activity can now reach planetary proportions. Our actions, once local, now ripple out to touch the very fabric of the Earth. Natural events like massive earthquakes have a much greater effect on Earth's rotation, sometimes shifting the axis by centimeters. But the dam's influence is unique because it's entirely man-made, a testament to our ability to shape the world in unexpected ways. The news comes as Earth's rotation is expected to speed up slightly this year, making the dam's effect a small but fascinating counterbalance. It's a reminder that even the tiniest changes can add up over time. The Three Gorges Dam stands as a monument to human ambition and ingenuity, but also as a reminder that our engineering feats can have consequences far beyond what we imagine, sometimes reaching into the very mechanics of our planet. We are now a force capable of changing the planet's fundamental properties, leaving a mark not just on landscapes, but on the rhythms of the Earth itself. Our grand projects echo through the very mechanics of the Earth, resonating in ways we are only beginning to understand. The dam's legacy is written not just in concrete and steel, but in the subtle, ongoing rhythms of the planet itself, a reminder of our growing power and responsibility. Behind the engineering lies a human cost, the largest forced migration for a single project in modern history. Over 1.3 million people, some say nearly 2 million, were relocated as their homes vanished beneath the rising reservoir. Families left behind ancestral lands, often receiving inadequate compensation and struggling to adapt to new lives in unfamiliar towns. Many lost their livelihoods, especially farmers given urban apartments with no land to cultivate. The social fabric of entire communities was torn apart. Over 1,500 towns and villages, along with countless historical sites, disappeared underwater. Archaeologists raced to save what they could, but much was lost forever. The dramatic landscapes of the Three Gorges were altered, and a rich cultural heritage was submerged. Today, many displaced people still face hardship and dislocation. The price of progress is measured not just in money, but in lost homes and fractured communities. The dam's story is also one of loss and sacrifice. Its impact on people endures. The Three Gorges Dam has left deep scars on the Yangtze's ecology. The reservoir destroyed vast habitats and disrupted the river's natural rhythms, devastating biodiversity. Migrating fish can no longer reach spawning grounds. Native species like the Yangtze sturgeon are critically endangered, and the Baiji dolphin is now extinct. Pollution is a growing threat. Submerged factories and waste sites leach toxins, while slow-moving water traps pollutants and risks algal blooms. The river, once a lifeline, is in danger of becoming a stagnant, polluted basin. Downstream, the Yangtze Delta is eroding, starved of sediment, and battered by rising seas. Wetlands that protect the coast and support wildlife are disappearing. The dam's environmental impact stretches from the Tibetan Plateau to the East China Sea. The damage is vast and ongoing. The river's future remains uncertain. The weight of the reservoir has made the region geologically unstable. Scientists warned that filling the dam could trigger earthquakes and landslides, and they were right. Small tremors are now common, and hundreds of landslides have forced evacuations and threatened lives. The constant rise and fall of water levels weakens the valley's steep slopes, making them prone to collapse. Authorities have spent vast sums trying to stabilize the land, but the risk remains immense. A massive landslide could trigger a wave capable of overtopping the dam or devastating communities downstream. The ground beneath the Three Gorges Dam is a constant, lurking threat. The Three Gorges Dam set a precedent for China's development strategy: build big to boost the economy. Massive infrastructure projects became a go-to solution for economic slowdowns, fueling demand for steel, cement, and jobs. In 2025, China announced another giant dam on the Yarlung-Zangbo River in Tibet, part of a new stimulus package. But this new project is even more controversial. The river flows into India and Bangladesh, raising fears over water security and geopolitical tensions. The Three Gorges Dam is both a model and a warning. It shows how a nation can mobilize resources for monumental feats, but also highlights the profound, often unforeseen consequences. As China exports its dam-building expertise worldwide, the global community is asking, is the price of these mega-projects too high? The lessons of Three Gorges are being weighed against the promises of progress. The debate continues. The Three Gorges Dam is a symbol of humanity's power and its fallibility. It brought flood control, energy, and economic growth, but at a staggering cost: displaced people, lost heritage, and wounded ecosystems. Sediment buildup, landslides, and erosion are long-term challenges that will demand constant management. The dam is a living experiment, its full consequences still unfolding. As China and other nations pursue new mega-dams, the world is watching, wary of repeating old mistakes. The conversation is shifting towards smaller, more sustainable solutions that work with nature. The Three Gorges Dam teaches us that altering nature on a colossal scale brings equally colossal consequences. Its story is a cautionary tale about the true price of progress.